Hi guys, and welcome back to Cinders. You might remember that we were faced with a difficult decision. Now I have decided to bide my time and go back home. I think I've seen enough. I better get back before they catch me or someone finds me missing. I'll talk to Tobias about this later after I've had some time to think about it. That's the smart thing to do. It's best to speak with him alone anyway. Pretty lake. In the morning! Oi, what a night. Maybe the boss was right when he said not to drink away my pay in one go. Still, can't say it wasn't worth it for how great last night. Well, I don't know what voices I'm doing, okay? Wait, what exactly happened last night? How did I even wind up here? The deer went this way, my lord. Oi, someone's coming. Better lay low for a mite. Hurry, before it gets away. Look at that finger. She's almost pointing at the deer. Forget the deer, Captain. There are more important matters at hand. If this is about what you asked yesterday, my lord, I know little of politics or the affairs of the court. That's exactly why I need you. You're straightforward and honest, and you see things I can't. Behind all his smiles, everyone in the court lies to me. No, you're the only man I can trust. I will serve you to the best of my ability. What is it you wish to discuss? It's about my father's last wish. I must have a wife before I ascend the throne. How am I to choose one? There's a ball in a few days. Isn't that your chance to find an eligible young lady? In theory, but that's the problem. How will I be able to tell? Monarchy is weak without a king, and the nobles around me are plotting to advance themselves. They groom their daughters like prize spaniels and hope I'll be taken in by a pretty face. I need a wife who is strong and smart, someone who can rule the kingdom wisely, not feed me her father's poisonous words. I doubt that I'll ever find such a woman. No doubt many such women exist, my lord. You should not give up so easily. You're right, Captain. It's just, I haven't had the fortune to meet one yet. I'm surrounded by women who know little more than how to curtsy. And they do little more than wait to be handed out as political tokens. Truly, it is disheartening. And yet you must choose a wife from among the nobility regardless. It is, after all, tradition. As if tradition mattered to that brood of vipers, they plot to control the throne even before it is within my grasp. If I marry to please a powerful house, I risk having a fool for a wife. But what other choice do I have? If we respected the traditions to the fullest, you'd be able to choose anyone at the ball, even someone you didn't know. How convenient that this rule is often forgotten. Someone I didn't know. Captain, you're brilliant. It's perfect. I'm not sure I follow your thinking, my lord. A masquerade ball, I'll be able to choose from the women without discriminating over looks or political ties. They've been pushing me to full tradition for so long they can't complain if I remember the old rules. Captain, you truly are a remarkable man. Now I see why my father trusted you so much. Of course, my lord. Well, it's always an honour to be of service. Thank you so much, my friend. You are a rare breed indeed. Still faithful to your ideals. Ideals or not, our prey has long since escaped us, and if we linger any longer, people might grow suspicious. You're right, my friend. Let's return to the castle with all haste. Now that I have a solution in mind, I can return with a light heart. Well, that's a bit of juicy gossip you don't hear every day. A masquerade ball, huh? I'd like to point out that my character's just like, oh yeah, fairies, let's go be, selfish, and she's not anything at all, and then she was like, bowing down to what's-her-face. So she's neither strong or smart right now. But I changed that. I know certainly you'd pay handsomely for this information, that she would. The day may have started out lousy after all last night's drinking, but it's turned out to be quite a good one after all. All thanks to a few extra rounds at the pub. You can't go wrong with that. Pretty music. Yawn, what time is it? The sun is already so high in the sky, I must have slept in. Yeah, that's my fault. Considering how long I spent outside last night, that's hardly a surprise. Still, I'm not sure what to think about what happened. I want to trust Tobias, but... well, at least it's something different from the usual. It's strange how my life has been so boring all this time, then suddenly all these things are happening to me. Even stranger than that. I wonder why no one has come to wake me up yet. It must be at least noon, if not later. Surely Commander hasn't decided to be gracious and grant me a holiday. I want none of your pitiful excuses. Uh-oh, Camus is definitely not in a gracious mood. I should get going and see what's going on before she catches me like this. Yeah, you probably should. I'm sorry, that's my fault. Everyone is here. You're an even bigger disappointment than usual. Looks like Camus is mad at Gloria today. I wonder why. Hey, Sophia? Cinders, not so loud. I don't want to get in trouble or miss any of this. But what's going on? Business is pick up usual. Mum's in a bad mood and Gloria was the nearest thing she could yell at. I'm not interested in your excuses. It's your duty to make sure there's enough wood for the fireplace. But if the servant is allegedly ill and find someone else, do it yourself if you have to. I'm sorry, Mother. I understand. If you truly understood, this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Ugh, I'm wasting my breath. I can only hope that you've learned your lesson and this won't happen again. Seems I can't trust you girls with even the smallest of tasks. I wish that one of you would finally take charge of things. Yes, Mother. Don't just say yes, prove your worth by taking action. Make sure dinner's ready in 2 hours. I expect the wood to be chopped by then as well. Don't worry, Mother. I will. Cinders, Sophia, why were you two wasting your time eavesdropping instead of being useful? It's not a waste of time to watch the mighty all-knowing Gloria get scolded by Mom. That was very American. Oh, what's this? You should have such a sharp reply. But now you can't think of anything to say. Whatever happened to the perfect, glorious, outspoken Gloria? One scolding from Mum is all it takes to shut you up. I don't have time to deal with your childish jealousy right now, but watch your tongue. It will certainly get you in trouble someday. Anyway, you two heard Mother. Dinner must be ready in 2 hours, so get started. What? Why do we have to get dinner ready? Because I'll be busy taking care of Mother's other needs, like getting the wood chopped. If you'd rather not, I can always tell Mother you refuse to obey her orders. Fine, I'll do it, just pray your food isn't poisoned. As if you'd have the guts to do such a thing, little sister. Now, if you excuse me, I have duties to attend to. I might have 2 timelines. I'm going to have a poison timeline and a non-poison timeline. Well, it looks like I'm stuck working with you, Cinders. Yeah, why were you so cruel to Gloria? Why are you so cruel to Gloria? Why, don't you hate her too? Well, maybe, but you're her sister. Aren't you supposed to support each other? Oh, if only Gloria believed that. No, there's certainly no support here, and it's mostly her fault. She always acts so smug and self-righteous. There's no trace of her own will or personality in there. She's just trying to copy Mum, even though it's impossible. Of course, she takes out all her frustrations on me. She probably thinks Mum will recognise her if she keeps degrading me. I have no reason to be kind to her. I understand, but don't you wish that would change? Living under Camosta is hard enough already. Wouldn't it be better to band together instead of fight each other? Maybe, but why does it matter? Why am I even discussing this with you? I must be getting desperate. Of course, I want to be on better terms with Gloria, but she drew the line a long time ago. I may not be as clever or beautiful as Mother Gloria, but I'm not naive. People don't just change. They'll remain cruel as long as it benefits them. That's such a sad outlook in life. It must have been really hard for you growing up. Oh please, I don't need pity, especially not from you. Life is horrid, no amount of sweet words will change that. Let's get dinner ready before we get in trouble. It'll be nice having someone help me with dinner for once. Hurry up and take out all the ingredients we're going to need. Why me? Isn't it obvious? I hardly stepped foot in the place, so naturally I don't know where anything is. Naturally. That doesn't mean you can't help with the preparation, though. I don't really have a choice in the matter, do I? There's no way you can prepare dinner in 2 hours alone. It takes you a long time to cook. I'll be in just as much trouble as you if it's not done. Mother isn't forgiving towards anyone. I figured that much out myself. Now here are all the ingredients. Yuck, the stench is unbelievable. Are they rotting or something? No, this is just how vegetables smell. They do grow in the soil, you know. Sure, but I can't believe you actually live with this odour. I bet sometimes you must feel like a rather large carrot yourself. Or a beetroot, maybe. That's very funny, Sophia. Besides, it wasn't exactly my own choice to move in here. I used to have a proper bedroom before Gloria took it. Of course, how could I forget? But still, you should be grateful. They say that harsh conditions help build character. You're bound to become a diamond here, while poor Gloria softens with every buzzing hour. can't you give me a break for once? If that's how it's going to look, I prefer to risk Camo's anger and prepare the dinner alone. Oh fine, don't be so uptight, sis. One Gloria in this house is too many. So, what was it like before we moved in with you anyway? Just tell her, why not? She's trying to reach out to you. Do you really want to know? Of course, we've got to talk about something or else it'll be awfully dull in here. You can't just admit that you're actually interested in my life. Well, if you must know, the moment we started talking I decided it's best to imagine you're a character from some bad romance novel. It's much less personal like that. You're such a darling sometimes. I know, right? You may not be the worst or the best in a family, but you can't accuse me of lacking creativity. But let's get back to that book you're interested in. They're not even bad people. What Carmosa seems to be. Well, life was different when Father was alive, more carefree, although I suppose that's how childhood is. Father had a way with kids. I think he was a rather big child himself, always dreaming. I loved it back then. I see. And how do you feel about it now? Oh, I'm gonna go with it was too dreamy. Maybe fun while I was a child, but looking back on it, I think Father was overprotective. He raised me to live in a dream instead of reality. Unfortunately, life is a lot more complicated than fairy tales. You can say that again. Imagination can only work so far, and all the dreams eventually come to an end. You're right. Sometimes I wish Father had prepared me to be awake. Okay. What about your mother? Do you remember her? Unfortunately, she passed away giving birth to me. I still feel guilty about it, even though I know it doesn't really make any sense. Father told me a lot about her, but I don't know if that's how she was, or just an idealised image. Either way, I know that her death had a huge impact on him. I think he was very lonely. Perhaps that's why he preferred to get lost in his dreams rather than face real life. I'm sure it got even worse after we came into your life, huh? Ew, this onion is making my eyes wet! Give that to me, I'll chop it for you. If you rinse the knife first, it shouldn't sting that much. Really? My eyes die every time I have to cut an onion. Apparently if you put it in the fridge for like an hour first, it doesn't do that so bad, but I always forget. As for you, I'd say my life is definitely different after you came in. Oh, just be honest, I know your life has been miserable ever since your father married our lovely mother. Trust me, it's not like Gloria and I wanted this either, and yet here we are, one big happy family. You can be awfully cynical at times. Oh, you noticed? Fine then, yes, my life got worse when you showed up. I'm a servant, no, a slave in my own house. Not like you'd understand. Yes, what could I possibly know about it, stupid onion? Sounds to me like it's your turn to talk about your life. Well, there's not much to say. That can't be true. It's obvious that a lot happened to you and Gloria. You wouldn't be like this otherwise. Besides, you said you wanted a conversation, so tell me about yourself. Fine, but don't say I didn't warn you. When we were children, we lived out in the countryside. Our house wasn't as nice as this one, though. Our father was a military man. He got himself killed in some war, and that left Mother a widow. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be. I hardly even saw the man when he was around. He was like a complete stranger, not a proper father at all. His death meant nothing to us. That is so sad. What about Carmosa? It must have affected her. Maybe that's why she's the way she is now. Was that supposed to be a joke? Mother didn't care about him any more than we did. Then why did she marry him? Well, why does anyone get married? Political gains. Status, yeah, way we can gain stuff. Well, I guess you can be pretty smart sometimes. Looks exactly it, isn't it? Oh, hello kitties. Be nice to each other. Don't be like Gloria and Sophia. It's the reason even a worthless mouse like me will eventually find a husband. It's all about the status. Carmosa comes from a poor family. They had a title of nobility, but they lost most of their riches and splendour, which is why she's being so awful with money and selling my inheritance. Finishing my drink. The only way for her to advance the social ladder was to marry, and she was ambitious. She married an officer who was already relatively rich and a lot of accolades. She probably had planned ahead, even there. For all I know, she chose a man who'd probably die in a battle so that she can marry even higher later. How can you say that? That's such a cruel assumption. Cruel? It's not like she killed him. He would have died anyway. She just wanted something more out of life. Still a cold thing to do. Cold? Sure it's cold. It's business. I don't see what's wrong with it. Mother's not dumb, she did what she had to do. There's not much room in this world for women with ambitions, so you take what you can get. So back then, was your life as bad as it is now? Worse. What? How so? Well, you weren't around. Listen, if you're not around, who do you think becomes a victim? Mother was always needed a scapegoat, and Gloria would do anything to please that woman. I'm not as pretty, smart, or ambitious as them, so naturally she humiliated me, and Mother didn't approve. Disapprove even. And now that I'm here, they no longer target you. Oh, I'm being Cinders. And now that I'm here, they no longer target you. Is that it? That's exactly it. Mother and Gloria have a new scapegoat, and my life is finally a bit. It's a little bit selfish, but I do kind of understand it. So I quite like Sophia here. I see. So now that you're no longer tormented, you choose to torment me instead. Of course, nothing personal, but it's either me or you, and I certainly won't be a victim again. Besides, you should be grateful. Didn't your father shield you from the real world too much? Thanks. Now you get to see exactly what it's like. That's the way of all things. You're either the hunter or the prey. And as long as Mother and Gloria focus on you, I can go back to being my own worthless self. You're not worthless. Just listen to yourself. You're not worthless, ugly, stupid, or even cruel. My. And what's made you an expert all of a sudden? That's ridiculous. It's obvious the person you hate the most is yourself, but you've got no reason to. So you make up all these excuses like you're too stupid or ugly or worthless when you know it's not true. It's just an easy way out, isn't it? You prefer to convince yourself you're nothing, so no one will expect any more from you. You don't have to change or do anything if you're worthless after all. You sound like you're trying to convince yourself that you're all-knowing. You're not worthless, Sophia, and you know that. It's almost endearing how hard you try to get to the good in other people. You're just being naive. It's not naive at all. I was paying attention when you were talking, and I learned something important. You think that you're worthless because you can't measure up to Carmosa or Gloria, but it's the opposite. Carmosa is a woman of strong influence. It's easy to get drawn in and conform to what she wants. The fact that you've resisted means that you're stronger than Gloria. It means that you're stronger than Carmosa. I'm sorry you had to suffer for it, but that makes you even more admirable. Oh, sweetie. You really had it rough, and I know it left a mark on you, but it doesn't make you worthless. This is such a sad story. You know, I don't need your pity. Trust me, that's the last thing on my mind. You've been absolutely horrid to me. But now that I know what's happened to you, well, I just wish you knew better. Listen to me closely, Cinders, because I'm only going to say this once. I am sorry. Sorry for everything. I want to give you a hug. Look at your beautiful dress. And I'm not promising I'll change, but it's better than nothing. Thank you. I'm glad we can speak with each other like this. Maybe it's the start of something better. Don't get your hopes up. That was a wicked look. Anyway, it looks like dinner's nearly ready, so I'm leaving just to make sure you hurry. I will. See you later. Did you even do anything? Wait, Sophia? What? Just remember that sometimes it's easy to get through tough situations if you have someone on your side. I suppose so. I wonder if I got through to her. I can't believe we actually had that conversation. That was definitely unexpected. I think I need some time to think it over. The meal is nearly done anyway. What's left is to get all the servants to cook the rest right before it is served. I really need to get out and gather my thoughts. Everyone is busy, so I'm sure no one will notice if I sneak out. The main hallway is empty, no surprise there. As I thought, everyone is busy right now. I don't have much time before dinner, but I'm sure we could sneak out and be back in time. All that talk about my mother reminds me I haven't been to her grave in a long time. It might be dangerous to sneak out during the day, but I don't know if I'll get another chance. I'll just have to move as quickly as I can. And that's where we're going to leave it for today. So thank you for watching, and I will see you another time. Bye bye!